Up next on Lion TV, we have Connor Love with a package over the mask mandate, Josh DeGroat with your weather, Jordan Benight with Line of the Week,
and me, Jordan Benight, to give you all the latest updates on soccer. All that and more, Lion TV starts now.
Good morning, Sunshines. It's me, Jacob Osborne.
And me, Lexi Theron. Now let's jump right into this morning's announcements about tryouts for many of next year's sports teams.
Line Stepper tryouts will run from Monday, May 17th through Thursday, May 20th in the Annex. Dancers, make sure you wear proper attire to tryouts as discussed in the meeting. Remember, all paperwork, including physicals and uniforms for the 2020 through 2021 team must be turned in prior to May 17th, or the student will not be allowed to attend the tryouts. If you have any questions, contact Ms. Hightower.
Volleyball tryouts for 9th to 11th grade will be held on April 28th from 4 to 5 in the high school main gym. You are required to bring a signed physical form and sudden cardiac arrest form to the tryout. You can pick up forms in the high school east office.
Tryouts for the 2021 through 2022 SHS Lion and Lady Lion golf teams will be Monday, May 17th. Any high school students that wish to try out must email Coach Turney to sign up and obtain information about tryouts.
The Arkansas House last Thursday overwhelmingly approved a proposal to end a day that commemorates the Confederate flag. The majority Republican House voted 80-7 for legislation to abolish Confederate Flag Day, which is designated as the Saturday before Easter. The bill is now headed to the Senate for a vote. The bill would replace Confederate Flag Day with Arkansas Day, which it says is intended to reflect the state's rich natural history and treasures, diverse cultures, unmatched hospitality, shared spirit, and human resilience. Governor Asa Hutchinson said in a statement, the measure makes sense to him and he plans to sign it if it reaches his desk.
A man in Sydney, Australia found a snake in his lettuce he bought at the local supermarket. It was a venomous, pale-headed snake that he spotted moving as soon as the lettuce was unpacked onto the kitchen table. He and his wife also noticed the plastic wrapping was torn and that the snake could escape, so they quickly stuffed the reptile with the lettuce into a plastic food container. They phoned the rescue organization and a snake handler took the snake away that night. The supermarket is investigating how a snake could have found its way into the grocery store.
The Google Earth app is adding a new video feature that draws upon nearly 4 decades of satellite imagery to vividly illustrate how climate change has affected glaciers, beaches, forests, and other places around the world. The tool unveiled Thursday is rolling out what is being billed as the biggest update to Google Earth in 5 years. Google says it undertook the complex project in partnership with several government agencies, including NASA in the US and its European counterpart, in hopes that it will help a mass audience grasp the sometimes abstract concept of climate change in more tangible terms through its Free Earth app.
Arkansas is joining other states in temporarily halting use of the Johnson & Johnson coronavirus vaccine while a federal review is underway. The Arkansas Department of Health says vaccination clinics with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine are canceled, but ones offering the Pfizer or Moderna vaccines will continue as planned. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the Food and Drug Administration said Tuesday they were investigating unusual blood clots that occurred 6 to 13 days after vaccination.
Well, it seems like things with the coronavirus are constantly changing.
That's for sure.
Speaking of change, let's see what Connor Love has to say about the recently lifted mask mandate.
On February 26th, Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson announced that the mask mandate will end on March 31st. We asked a student what his thoughts are of this news.
I'm pretty happy about the thing, taking off the mask stuff, this thing, because it's pretty annoying, honestly.
Since March 16, 2020, Asa Hutchinson has had the mask rules established when the first cases of COVID-19 were popping up all across Arkansas.
I think now's a good time. Everything's coming to an end, like COVID was. Like, we're allowed to have more people in certain buildings with the vaccination, stuff like that. So yeah, it was a good time. It got me to appreciate going outside more and being with my friends a lot more.
Public schools have been heavily affected by the pandemic. The last 9 weeks of last year went virtual.
Of course, I wasn't able to go outside for like the beginning half. But I wasn't able to go to my summer camp, which I was really pretty sad about, and I wasn't able to hang out with a lot of my friends. Well enough in a worldwide pandemic scenario, like you can't really control it. I don't think anybody can. So, I mean, well enough for the time. I think a few protocols could have been made differently, but all in all, it was fun. This early on, I guess, like, we really can't tell right now. So, I hope so, but we don't know.
This summer, more people are going to be vaccinated than ever before by the 4th of July.
I'm going to go outside, hang out with a lot of my friends, go to my summer camp that I missed.
When the mask mandate is over, we may finally have some sense of normalcy. Back to the news crew.
Thanks, Connor, for that informative story.
Yes, thank you. Now let's take time for a quick commercial break.
I would recommend it to anyone who's interested in any form of journalism.
Really enjoyed going out, finding the story, and learning a lot more about Cersei.
How inspiring.
Yes, thank you. Moving right along, let's see what the weather forecast for the rest of the week is going to look like.
Good morning, Cersei. Hi, I'm Josh DeGroat with your weather today. It's going to be cloudy with 65 high and with a 10% chance of rain. Your winds will be going east-southeast at 6 miles an hour, and you have a 43% humidity, and your sun rose at 6:25 a.m. Tonight, you have clear skies with a low of 46 degrees. You have a 24% chance of rain. Your winds tonight will be going east-southeast at 5 miles an hour, and 68% humidity. Your sun will set at 7:45 p.m. With the almanac, the last 7 days the temperatures with the high of 73 degrees and a low of 39 degrees. Your monthly average of precipitation is 4.96 inches, and your month to date will be 2.23 inches. On to the 5cast. Friday, it'll be mostly cloudy with a high of 60 and a low of 54. Saturday, it'll be cloudy with a high of 70 and a low of 45. Sunday, it'll be sunny with 71 high and a low of 49. And Monday, it will be mostly sunny with a high of 80 and a low of 58. And Tuesday, it'll be partly cloudy with a high of 80 degrees and a low of 63 degrees. The spring temperatures are starting to warm up through the next week. Back to the news desk.
Thanks, Josh. That was great. Lexi, you want to tell us what's for lunch today?
Why, of course. For lunch today, we'll be having crispito with Mexican rice, cheese dip, seasoned pinto beans, banana, applesauce, and milk.
Be sure to thank our wonderful lunch ladies for all the hard work that goes into preparing our delicious lunches.
I sure will.
Now it's time for one of my favorites, Line of the Week with Jordan Benite.
What's up, Cersei? It's me, Jordan Benite, back with another Line of the Week. This week we have Lions baseball player Daniel Perry. So Daniel, how has baseball been affected by COVID-19?
Well, baseball hasn't really been affected as much as the other sports, but there's been some social distancing restrictions and stuff like that. But as the time's been coming, they've been cutting back on most restrictions and rules of COVID-19.
So do you think the team's doing well this season, and how do you think we can improve on that?
Oh yes, we've been doing pretty good this season, probably the best we have been playing in the last few years. And one thing about us is we've been trying to change the culture and get back on track how baseball used to be down here in Cersei.
So what is your personal favorite part of baseball?
My favorite part of baseball is probably just being out there with the team and just all of us just bonding and just playing for each other.
So what is the hardest part about baseball for you personally?
Hardest thing about baseball is probably like being consistent. Because being consistent in baseball is it's one of the hardest things. You cannot just go a week off without practicing, because you might come back the next week looking like you're not able to play or you haven't been there in months. But it's just being consistent is the big thing about baseball.
Well, Cersei, that's all I have for you this week. Let's send it back to the news desk.
Thank you so much, Jordy.
Yes, thanks, Jordan. Now let's pass it right back to you for sports.
Let's hop into those sports updates. Your Searcy High soccer team played Greene County Tech with a score of 3-0. The Lady Lions scored 7-0. Tell them good job as they prepare for their next games. Baseball lost against Batesville with a score of 0-2, but the girls won with a score of 18-8. In national sports, in Europe, there has been a new version of soccer called the Super League. The Super League would be a 20-team league made up of 15 permanent members, with the remaining 5 members of the league composed of teams which qualified through domestic European League competition. This has received quite a lot of backlash, seeing as some teams no longer have to earn a spot in the league. This has been viewed as elitist and wrong. Washington football player Alex Smith is retired after his incredible comeback from a leg injury. He decided it was best to stop now instead of chancing another injury and never being able to walk or play football again. In the regular season, Smith threw for 3,486 yards, 20 touchdowns, and only 7 interceptions, marking him as a remarkable player that the game of football will surely miss. Back to the news desk.
Thanks for those sports updates, Jordan. That was great.
It sure was. Well, it seems we've reached the end of this episode of Lion TV. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Searcy High Lion TV.
And to follow us on Twitter at Lion TV, Instagram at Searcy Lion TV, and on Facebook at Searcy High Lion TV. Signing off, I'm Lexi Farron.
And I'm Jacob Osborne. Happy Thursday.